Hi, welcome to Infused Eats, the cooking show where everything's infused, especially me. Today we're making lollipops. This recipe is brought to you by the Mighty Fast Herbal Infuser. Please visit theherbalinfuser.com for more recipes. Here's what you need to make infused lollipops. You need 1 cup of granulated white sugar, half a cup of light corn syrup, or 1/4 cup of water, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of infused tincture. You can use alcohol or glycerin tinctures. 2 teaspoons of flavored extract, such as orange, lemon, mint, or whatever flavor you like. 6 to 8 drops of food coloring, which is optional. You'll also need some lollipop molds and a candy thermometer. The first step is going to be to make your tincture if you don't have one already, and you can use a vegetable glycerin or an alcohol tincture. Either way though, you're going to need to decarb your herbs for 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. Then put them in the hopper of the Mighty Fast if you're using that machine. And then you're going to add in about 1 liter of 151 proof alcohol. You don't want to go to the 190 or any stronger with the Herbal Infuser machine. It will burn it up. And then you choose the Mighty Long Cycle. That'll give you the right temperature so that 4 hours later you have a nice tincture just like this. Then you just need to strain it through the provided hemp cloth or whatever, cheesecloth, however you want to strain it out. Put it in a jar. And then you have your infused tincture that you can use for any kind of recipe such as this here. Now we're going to proceed along now with the rest of the recipe. We're going to take our 2 sugars, that's both the corn syrup and the white sugar, and we'll put those into a very small saucepan. We're going to put that over a medium to medium-high heat and just let it start melting. And you also go ahead and add your water in at this point. And what we're doing is we're just making all this syrup turn into sort of a simple syrup, and then we're going to bring it up to a boil. It won't be long. All of your sugars will be cooked together. It'll turn real clear and start boiling. And at that point, you want to start monitoring the temperature. Make sure you have a candy thermometer that will go up to over 300 degrees. Because that's what we're going to do. We're going to boil this. It'll take a little while, but watch it very carefully because it can get hot really fast once it starts getting hot. But as soon as it hits 300 degrees exactly, we're going to take that off of the heat. And then at that point, we're going to let it start cooling down. And you're going to also monitor the cooling process because when it hits to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, that's when we're going to start adding in the rest of the ingredients. So I'm using orange because I want orange flavored lollipops here. So I'm adding about 2 teaspoons of the orange flavoring. Then I'm also adding in some yellow food coloring and a little bit of red food coloring to make the orange lollipops. And now I'm adding in the tincture. You can use 2 to 3 tablespoons here. I'm adding 2. I don't want it to be too strong. But you can add in 2 to 3. And you can evaporate it down if you want to first, but it's going to be okay. But as you can see now when I start mixing it in together, it's still 250 degrees, so it's going to start evaporating and bubbling out the remaining water for you already. So you're just going to continue mixing that down by hand very carefully. It's still very hot until you see it all incorporate together and become very sort of translucent and sort of unified in color. And you need to move pretty quickly here because you don't want the candy to harden up, which it does pretty quickly. So you can put the lollipop sticks into the molds in advance, and you won't have to be rushing through it like we did there. But then we're going to carefully pour the candy into the molds until you cover up the sticks of the lollipops. And then after you have all your molds filled up, you're going to let that chill, best in the refrigerator or freezer, for 1 to 2 hours till they get fully hardened. And once they're fully hardened, you can pop them out of the shells really easy. You can use these silicone molds that I used here. They're perfect for this. This recipe, it filled up 3 of the molds. It came with 4 in the pack, but this filled up 3 of them, came with the sticks. This recipe is brought to you by the Mighty Fast Herbal Infuser. Please visit theherbalinfuser.com for more recipes.